Dear friends, good morning all of you. In previous lecture, we observed the chart regarding Fourier transform, Fourier cosine transform, Fourier sine transform and their inverses on various intervals. This chart is very useful while solving the problems on Fourier transform as well as inverse Fourier transform. So in previous lecture we discussed one problem on Fourier transform. In this lecture we will discuss again some more problems on Fourier transform, Fourier cosine transform and Fourier sine transform and their inverses also. But while solving problems we use integral by parts that we already learned. Use rule of differentiation under integral sign, means that is known as DUIS, D-U-I-S, differentiation under integral sign. And at the point of discontinuity, to find the Fourier integral at that value, we have to take the average of left hand limit and right hand limit. This technique also we have to use. So let us try to solve problems on Fourier integral as well as Fourier transform. So friends, we start from taking one problem. The problem is, by considering Fourier sine and cosine integrals of function e raised to minus mx, m is positive, prove that this equality and this second equality for m and x are positive. So here in this problem we have given function e raised to minus mx and x is positive we have given, means domain of x lies between 0 to infinity. So x lies between 0 to infinity. So f of x is defined in half range. So the function f of x can have either Fourier sine transform or cosine transform, since it is defined on the interval 0 to infinity. So there are two ways. Either we can find Fourier sine transform or Fourier cosine transform. Suppose we consider from, so since in the problem we have to prove this equality, on left hand side if you observe under integration symbol, integrand is contains sin lambda x function, such type of part is there. So from this we can get the inspiration that if you compare with this chart, we get the formula regarding serial number 5, Fourier sine, defined on the 0 to infinity interval. So as per the chart and by considering f of x function as a e raised to minus mx, fs of lambda is given by this way, integration from 0 to infinity this. Since f of x is given, so we can easily find f of u by replacing x by u. We get such type of integration, and we know how to solve such type of integration where product of exponential and sine function. So with the help of this integration formula we get this equation, and just substitute the upper limit. These are the limit of u, because we are taking integration with respect to u. So upper limit u equal to infinity. So if we substitute u equal to infinity, e raised to minus infinity means 0. So this term will be 0, whole term will be 0. After that, if you put u equal to 0 here and here in this bracket also. So we know sin 0 into lambda means 0, sin 0 is 0, this term will be vanished. So if you consider here u equal to 0, cos 0 is 1, so we get minus of lambda upon m square plus lambda square. This is the value when we substitute the lower limit, means u equal to 0. But upper limit minus lower limit, so minus will be there, 0 minus lower limit means minus of minus, it will be plus lambda upon m square plus lambda square, because u equal to 0, e raised to 0 means 1, so only this thing will be remain. Here observe that integration of e raised to ax sin bx dx, we can write the formula e raised to ax upon a square plus b square into square bracket a sin bx minus b cos bx. We have to use this formula. So here a is equal to minus m and b is equal to lambda. So just substitute here. So m square plus lambda square, here minus m sin lambda u minus lambda cos lambda u. So in this way we get the Fourier transform of given problem is like this. So after that we have to represent this function, f of x function, in a language of Fourier representation. So once we find Fourier sine transform, means fs of lambda, and its value is lambda upon m square plus lambda square. After that we have to consider the result by using chart, that f of x is described as a 2 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity fs of lambda sin lambda x d lambda. This formula we obtain from the chart, serial number 5, and see the formula regarding inverse transformation about sine function. So just substitute the value of fs of lambda which we earlier obtained, that is nothing but the lambda upon m square plus lambda square. Here note that this is the integration with respect to d lambda. So these are the limit of lambda varying from 0 to infinity. So after simplifying we get f of x equal to 2 upon pi into integration this. So 2 upon pi on right hand side, it will go towards left hand side, then it will become pi by 2 into f of x. This thing we can write like this way, and we have given value of f of x is e raised to minus x. So just substitute. So we get the required equation. This we required in the problem. We have to prove value of this integration is pi by 2 e raised to minus mx. So this is the solution of first problem. Now we will move towards next part. So friends, let us come towards the second part of this problem. If you observe the equality which we are going to prove regarding, on left hand side there is a integration. In integrand there is a involvement of cos lambda x, and that we have to show its value of integration. That is already we have given on right hand side. That means pi upon 2m into e raised to minus mx. Means on right hand side there is a involvement of f of x function. So from this we get the inspiration that we have to express f of x by using Fourier cosine transform and inverse Fourier cosine transform. So because here cos lambda x is there, so we will start applying Fourier cosine transform on the function f of x. So by the definition with the help of chart, we get here f of x is given e raised to minus mx. So from that we can easily find f of u e raised to minus mu. By the definition of Fourier cosine transform, fc of lambda, that is given by integration. These are the limit of u going from 0 to infinity, f of u cos lambda u du. Substitute the value of f of u, we get this way. Again use the result like this. Integration of product of exponential function with cosine function. That is given by e raised to ax upon a square plus b square a cos bx plus b sin bx. So replace a by, here coefficient of x in exponential function means minus u. Here we have to replace a by minus u and b by lambda and x by u. So we get this term, and here upper limit is u equal to lambda and lower limit is u equal to 0. Substitute the upper limit u equal to lambda. So from that property of exponential function e raised to minus infinity means it is 0. Note that. So upper limit will be 0 minus lower limit to t equal to 0. This will be vanish. Minus minus become plus. So and cos lambda 0 means cos 0 is 1. So only remains in numerator here e raised to 0 means 1. So only remains plus m upon m square plus lambda square. After this, by the help of chart, we can write f of x is equal to 2 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity. These are the limits of lambda varying from 0 to infinity. So just substitute the value of fc of lambda by using equation 4. So we get this type of integration, and no need to solve this integration. we have to, since m is constant, taking outside, so we remove this one. So 2m upon pi is a coefficient for integration. So we have to shift on right hand side, sorry, left hand side. It will become pi upon 2m f of x is equal to this integration. And we get the required equality. That means that equation can be written as on left hand side, take the integration. That integration start from lambda equal to 0 to infinity cos lambda x divided by lambda square plus m square d lambda, that is equal to pi upon 2m f of x. Substitute the value of f of x, we get the required equality. Now friends, let us go for next problem, that is example 4a. Here we have given function that is described in 2 lines. If x lies between 0 to pi, then value of f of x is sin x, and if x lies between or say greater than pi, then f of x having value 0, and if x is negative, then it's also having value 0. Then prove that f of x can be described in language of integration containing cos lambda x or like that. And hence deduce that from this equation we have to prove another integration which has value pi by 2. So let us start our problem. Here if you observe, this function is defined on the interval minus infinity to infinity. How we can observe? Because here it is written that if x is negative, if x is less than 0, means it may be minus infinity to 0 also. So from this we get the information that f of x is defined over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. And you can easily see this is neither a even function nor odd function. Because that graph is not symmetric about y-axis, so it is not even function, and also not symmetric about origin. So with the help of chart, we can't apply the formulas regarding Fourier sine transformation or Fourier cosine transformation, or formulas regarding even function for odd function. So we have to use formula regarding Fourier transform defined on the interval minus infinity to infinity, and that formula is given by f of x equal to this. These are the limits of u varying from minus infinity to infinity. So since this function is described on 3 different interval, means before 0 and after pi, this function gives the 0 value. So this function gives non-zero value, or we can say sine value, function described as sin x, only if x lies between 0 to pi. For other places it is 0. Means for 0 to pi, just replace f of u by sin u, we get this equation. F of lambda is equal to sin u e raised to minus I lambda u du. So that this is nothing but the Fourier transform of given function, say f of x. While solving this problem, we should remember some notes. though we studied these basic formulas, but we have to revise it. Suppose integration of the product of two functions, exponential function with sine function, e raised to ax sin bx. Its integration is given by e raised to ax divided by a square plus b square in square bracket a sin bx minus b cos bx. This formula we have to always remember, because when such type of situation arises where we have to find the integration of product of exponential function with sine, we have to use this result. Again, second thing is cos n pi is always minus 1 raised to n. N is some integer. So in short, cos pi is minus 1, sin n pi is 0, n is any integer, and integration from minus a to plus a. This here interval is like minus a to e plus a. N in constant, f of x dx, and if f of x is even function, means f of x satisfies this condition, f of x equal to f of minus x for all x belongs to this domain, then limits of this integration will be changed, that is integration from 0 to a, not minus a to e, and we have to multiply by 2. This will happen when f of x is even function. Otherwise, if f is odd function, then its value will be 0. Such type of remark we have to remember. So note that f of lambda means Fourier transform of function f of x is given by this way. Here note that this is function of lambda, because we have given integration with respect to du. These are the limit of u varying from minus infinity to infinity. So here function always function of lambda will be our answer. That's why that function is called Fourier transform. So just substitute the value of f of u by the problem, and that is sin u, and that is defined on the interval 0 to pi. That's why here instead of this big interval minus infinity to infinity, our problem reduced into the interval 0 to pi only, because before 0 and after pi f of x having value 0. That's why we have to just focus on this integration. So to evaluate this integration, we have to use the formula integration of product of exponential function with sine function, means e raised to ax into cos bx. That result that we already revised in previous slide, we can say. So here a is equal to I lambda coefficient of u, and b is equal to this one coefficient of u in sine function, that is 1. So just substitute the value by using the formula, we get this equality, and here upper limit is pi and lower limit is u equal to 0. U is varying from 0 to u equal to pi. So after that, just substitute the upper limit, where u is there we have to put u equal to pi, and then substitute the lower limit, e raised to 0 means 1, and we get second term like minus 1 upon lambda square minus lambda square plus 1. This cos sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is minus cos 0, and cos 0 is 1, we already know. So minus of minus, it will be plus here, such type of terms will be occur, and we know the Euler's formula. E raised to minus I theta can be written as cos theta minus I sin theta. So here just replace theta by I lambda, sorry, theta by lambda pi. We get this equation. So friends, once we obtain value of f of lambda, then we have to think about inverse Fourier transform, that is f of x, that can be given with the help of chart or table, and that formula is f of x equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to plus infinity f of lambda I lambda x d lambda. Here note that these are the limits of lambda varying from minus infinity to plus infinity, because if you simplify this, we will get the we should require answer in terms of x only, not in terms of x and lambda. That's why these limits must be limits of lambda. In this way you have to remember this result. This result we already taken from the chart, and we also discuss how such type of formulae occur in previous lectures. So substitute the value of f of lambda. This square bracket denote the value of f of lambda which we earlier obtained. So after this we have to use the Euler's formula e raised to I theta, that can be written as cos theta plus I sin theta. Take theta equal to lambda x. So next job is how we have to simplify this. This is one of the complex number. Before taking this considering, we have to remove 1 minus lambda square outside from these two bracket, and just focus on product of two complex numbers, say a minus e. This is you can take as a plus I into bracket minus sin lambda pi. Means in short we have to use such type of result, a plus ib into second bracket c plus id, and its product is described as ac plus iad plus ibc minus bd. So here a is nothing but the 1 plus cos lambda pi, b is nothing but the minus of sin lambda pi, c is nothing but the cos lambda x, and last d is nothing but sin lambda x. So just use this result, plugging the values, we will get 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So friends, as we discussed earlier, f of x can be expressed as addition of 4 terms, 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity. In this way, out of 4, 2 terms having coefficient I, and here for second and third term coefficient is I, and first and last means first and fourth term, they do not have coefficient I, because we already discussed the result in previous slide. So now observe that we already took small revision of even and odd function, and we also know the properties of even function. Product of two even function is a even function. Product of two odd function is odd function. Sorry, product of two odd function is even function, and product of one even and one odd, that function is odd function. So we have to use this thing in our problem. So if you observe first term, integrand, observe here, 1 plus cos lambda pi whole divided by 1 minus lambda square complete cos lambda x. So if you replace lambda by minus lambda, then also we get the same value here. That's why this is a even function of lambda. See, note that if you replace lambda by minus lambda, here lambda square, so minus lambda square is equal to plus lambda square always positive. Here cos of minus theta is written as cos of theta. By using property we get same thing, means f of x equal to f of minus x. So this is a even function. So its limit of integration will be changed by the property which we discussed earlier. So instead of integration from minus infinity to plus infinity, we can take as a 2 into integration from 0 to infinity. So this is story about first term we already discussed. Now let us move towards second term. In second term, this is even function, but this is an odd function, sin lambda x, odd function of lambda. If you replace, and we know because we know the property of sin function, sin of minus theta is nothing but the minus sin theta. Sin function always odd function. So even function into odd function, product is always odd function. So this term will be, this function is nothing but the function of, that function of lambda, that function is odd function. So we know the property of odd function. If the integration having limit say minus a to plus a or minus infinity to infinity, and here function is odd, then its value will be 0. So total integration means coefficient of I, it will be 0. Now focus on third term. Here cos is even function, sin is odd function of lambda. So even into odd is always odd. So again this is odd function, because odd into even and whole divided by even. So even upon even is even, and even into odd is odd. That's why integration from minus a to minus infinity to plus infinity of this, it will be 0. So this term will be vanished, second and third term will be vanished. Let us focus on fourth term. In fourth term, here denominator is even function of lambda, but in numerator sin is odd function, here also odd function. Product of two odd function is again even function, that we know. So even upon even is even. So its integration will be 2 into, means 2 times integration from 0 to infinity. So here we also get 2, here also we get 2, and limits are 0 to infinity. That's why we have to write in this way. So we get this step, here 2 get cancelled, and in next step we will discuss about expansion of these two terms. If you multiply by cos lambda x to this bracket by removing, taking outside 1 minus lambda square from this bracket, here also what happens we will see in next step. So friends, after simplifying, here is 1 upon 2 pi, coefficient of pi is 2, that 2 get cancelled, which is present in the denominator, and here also in numerator we will also get the 2, because 2 will be constant taking outside, 2 to cancel, we get this step. So we know the formula, cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B, that is nothing but the cos of A minus B. So here A is nothing but the lambda pi, B is nothing but the lambda x. So use this result, we get last two terms, second and third, we get cos of lambda, we can take outside, pi minus x, means cos lambda pi minus lambda x. This result we obtain, and this is nothing but the required equality which we are going to prove. We have to express f of x in language of this. So after this the problem is not complete, because next line is, hence deduce that integration cos lambda into pi by 2 whole divided by 1 minus lambda square d lambda, its value is, we have to show pi by 2. So to show this equality we can substitute pi by 2 instead of x in equation 2, so that we can get f of pi by 2 equal to like this. So what is f of pi by 2? If we observe the structure of function given in the problem, that is nothing but the sin pi by 2, because pi by 2 lies between 0 to pi, so its value will be sin pi by 2 is equal to 1 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity, and here pi by 2 is there, here also pi by 2 we get, so 2 pi by 2. So pi at the denominator it will go towards right hand side, and 2 is also we can, that is in numerator, that will go towards denominator, and value of sin pi by 2 is 1, so we get this equality. I hope you understand this problem. So in today's lecture we took how to use Fourier sine transform, inverse Fourier sine transform, Fourier cosine transform, inverse Fourier cosine transform, like this. How to focus on Fourier integral, Fourier cosine integral, Fourier sine integral. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Next time we will come with some new problems.